What's up, world? How's everybody doing today, tonight, tomorrow? As I always say, whatever time, realm, dimension you're living in, I hope you're doing great, feeling blessed, no stress. Because in this crazy world of doomsday scenarios, economic collapse, being nuked, hostile government takeovers, rise of AI, alien invasion, and now, for many of us, the thought of our reality not being ours. I feel like a lot of these conspiracies and thoughts and whatnot go hand in hand. The Mandela Effect has recently taken the truth community by storm. Many of us trying to figure out why. But just like many of these others, the truth has been waved right in front of our faces, covered up by Big Brother, the media, and laughed at by Joe Public and our friends. Kind of hurts sometimes. If you have your mind closed to alternative ways of thinking, you'll never see all the alternatives of what if and could be's. If you let other people's opinions stop you, you'll never have the possibility of progress. If you always look at things the same, you'll never learn anything new. Thankfully, a lot of us in this community do see things outside the box. We see the changes, we see the truth right in front of our faces. And thankfully, we address it and confront them. You know, I always start my videos off with saying whatever time, realm, or dimension you're living in. The reason being, I feel somehow it's true. We've come to a place in time where time and dimension seems to be manipulated. And I've come to believe more than any other thing that two groups working hand in hand possibly to blame for this. D-WAVE and CERN. Two different hands, but the same body of work. One the muscle, one the brain, or one the door, one the key, however you want to say it. Today we are seeing more and more D-waves placed all over the world, like a hostile takeover coming to run things how they see fit. And just as D-waves being built and put into place, we have CERN, but not just CERN. Over 30,000 particle colliders that we know about have been built and being built throughout the world. 30,000, that's a large number. That's a lot of particle colliders, and that's just what we know about. You can look up 32 of them on Google Maps, 9 being in the USA. 3 of the largest. California, Chicago, New York. Heck, if you're driving down a freeway in San Francisco, you could be rolling right over the top of one. Wouldn't even know it. Close to where I live. There's one in Georgia. And to top all of these, now China's planning on building one bigger than CERN here soon. In Europe and everywhere else, all over the world, they're loaded. Australia, got one there, maybe more. But there's one in Texas that supposedly back in 1991 they discontinued construction on. Now this thing being 3 times the size of CERN and 3 times more powerful. I can't help but to wonder, knowing our lovely little shadow government, if this one was just put off the books. If this is one of those, hey, where's that money going kind of deals. You know, everything's bigger in Texas, right? That's what they say. You know, when you see the crazy weather manipulation or things happening around CERN, you can't help but to wonder with all the crazy weather we're having here in the U.S. lately, are these things to blame for it? We're seeing crazy cloud formations all the time, strange storms building up out of nowhere, stronger than what we've seen. Are these things helping to feed these?
Probably live not too far from one. There are over 30,000 particle accelerators all over the world, doing a variety of jobs that sometimes have nothing to do with particle physics. If you're in Paris, France, admiring the towering glass pyramid at the Louvre Museum, there is a particle accelerator 15 meters below you. Yeah. In the basement, physicists use their particle accelerator called AGLAE for cultural preservation. For specifics, of course you do. These scientists use AGLAE to identify the minerals in the eyes of the famous 4,500-year-old Egyptian sculpture called the Seated Scribe. Another, yes please. No one likes contaminated food, right? Well, you can thank your friendly neighborhood particle accelerator for zapping any traces of E. coli or salmonella from your groceries. You've likely heard of foods being irradiated.
It's a scary thought thinking that there are that many particle colliders out there. Now they say they're for different reasons. They're for everything from helping to prolong fruit, cancer research. That's our biggest one. It's always cancer research. Even though we can't find a cure for cancer, it's always cancer research. They just keep pulling more and more money out, you know, that's so they can get things out of our tax dollar every day, saying it's for cancer research. I think there's much more to it with these two groups. You listen to the things they openly say, both groups. And like I say, they're hand in hand, foot in foot, however you want to put it. They're two in the same. They describe the D-wave as a magnetic vacuum, just like CERN, a big magnetic vacuum. They both openly say they're tearing in to other dimensions, other worlds, other universes, however you want to put it. These aren't just made-up sayings. Even though when you say this in public to your friends, your family, or people in a crowd, they look at you like you're crazy, like you just made this up. But you can openly read these statements. You can listen to them. Heck, let's take a listen right now. Let's look at a little montage of clips here.
Intelligence, free will, determinism, black holes protecting the planet from asteroids,
Heisenberg uncertainty principle,
atoms, ion traps, nuclear magnetic resonance, superconductors, photons,
artificial intelligence, machine learning,
past and future, classical physics, time travel. I mean, the whole thing. Quantum physics puts everything into question. It defies every intuition you have about the natural world.
Quantum is a very strange regime of physics.
Things can exist in this state of superposition where they can be like ghosting on each other, where they can be this and that at the same time.
Entanglement.
Quantum entanglement.
Two objects, if they're quantum mechanically entangled, are still strongly related to each other, even though they can be a vast distance apart.
One is quantum tunneling.
Tunneling.
Tunneling is the slippage between universes.
For a long time, people thought those effects only existed in the microscopic domain.
Like atoms, electrons, photons.
But really, it's the theory of our universe.
So if you want to build a quantum computer, you want to incorporate those new phenomenon into information processing.
There is a very clear prediction that our most successful theory of nature makes, and that is that there are an enormous number, mind-bogglingly large number, of parallel realities, as real as this one, that have different consistent histories. So imagine a world where all of the laws of physics as we know them are obeyed, but different decisions were made along the way. Different decisions at the level of tiny microscopic particles, different decisions all the way up to what you chose to eat for lunch, and whether you chose to come to this session or not. Quantum mechanics makes a very specific prediction that all of those are as real as the thing that you remember. And this is bizarre, because we don't see those other things. But science has reached the point now where we can build machines that exploit those other worlds. There's another type of person who tends to come from the computer science side that's like, yeah, okay, that's all great. But there's a different thing going on here, which is just as exciting, if not more, and that these machines that supposedly can do this wild stuff, let's forget about how they work, if you could build one, could solve problems that you could never, ever solve with any computer of the sort that we built. Terrifically powerful yet, but they're doing something completely different than what your computer does. And that's thing is like flight. It gives these computers access to these new resources, maybe you could call them parallel universes, in order to do something that you couldn't otherwise do. This one is really exciting to me, because what they're going to do is apply this machine to an area that I think is fundamentally important. It's the crux of our future as humans, and that's, can we build machines like us? Now, I can't think of anything personally any cooler than trying to use quantum computers to build intelligent machines, so this is very exciting to me. From the outside, they look like giant black monoliths. So if you have the opportunity to stand next to one of these machines, it is an awe-inspiring thing, at least for me. It feels like an altar to an alien god. They really are impressive machines. In quantum mechanics, there's this concept that a thing can exist in two states which are mutually exclusive at the same time, quote unquote, and I'm adding this. Imagine that there really are parallel universes out there, and now imagine you have two that are exactly identical in every respect. In a quantum computer, that device can be in this strange situation where these two parallel universes have a nexus, a point in space where they overlap. And when you increase increase the number of these devices, every time you add one of these qubits, you double the number of these parallel universes that you have access to. So the way I think about it is that the shadows of these parallel worlds overlap with ours. And if we're smart enough, we can dive into them and grab their resources and pull them back into ours to make an effect in our world. But this is, what I'm telling you is absolutely correct and in line with the way that these things actually work.
See, these aren't just things we make up. These aren't just crazy thoughts that we have and we go out there and we start, spreading propaganda and fear-mongering and all that. We basically repeat what they say, and then we get blasted for it and called crazy, delusional, whatever you want to say. People from D-WAVE have said things like, it's like standing next to the altar of an alien god. CERN looking for God particles. Both of these groups trying to play God or serve what they see as a god. I don't know if they're the creators or the minions. I have a feeling they're more the minions. I feel like they look at these machines, one is the doorway, one is the thought, one is their god. D-WAVE being the thing that they go to for the answers, CERN being how they execute these. D-WAVE reaches out there into parallel universes and dimensions, grabbing the answers from other places, figuring out problems that they could never figure out themselves. They go to CERN, they apply these glitches in their little experiments. They live out these, and then you get things like we have now, the Mandela Effect. And the scary part is when they figure all this out and they get rid of the glitches and they start figuring out how to really operate these systems. These two groups worry me because when you hear them talk about anything similar to religion or anything close to that, or the outlook of man in the future, it's not quite what we would always want life to end up being, I think. You look at their satanic innuendos and thought process of where man's heading. Basically, they sound like they want to turn us all into robots and slaves. No more independent thinking. One big machine running everything, creating memories, creating our lives. And look at CERN. Look at their logo. Look at the sadistic cult rituals of sacrifices and things like that. D-WAVE, working with AI labs now. One in particular, Google Quantum AI Lab, who has a great slogan. News and updates from the Quantum AI Lab's corner of the multiverse. Once again, just kind of throwing things in our face. Microsoft now is developing a new D-WAVE. I always wonder if these D-WAVEs are just communicating with something else in the future, pulling all this information back. Because the way they explain things, there is no time and space. They break it all down. They've figured out the matrix or the whole system. They've hacked what was created. They found that back door to go in and rewrite things how they see fit, or trying to play God or please that God that they think is a new God. Us, unfortunately, we're just the lab rat, the mice. Petri dish of experiment here. I say we go back and we look at all these weird things that go on there. Let's just have a look at one of the most famous. The opening of the tunnel. One of the most sadistic, satanic, crazy damn things I've ever seen. This is, as we would say down here in the South, this is nuttier than squirrel shit. Have a look.
Well, I say, this is just some lovely, wholesome family fun here. Honey, I think we got the tickets to the wrong damn show. What in the hell is this shit? Was there liberals on ice? This is one of them moments where I had to say, what the hell? WTF, but I got to say WTF. Look at the smiles from the sickos. Bunch of damn pervs. Doing whatever they want to time. Now, bow. When their master calls them. This is what I'm saying. Sickos.
Yeah, so you think that's crazy or normal? Yeah, that's what I thought. You had tons of heads of state, politicians, whatever, rich, famous, all hanging out at this thing thinking, wow, this is beautiful. Yeah, let's just open the gates of hell up right now. Because if that's not what you don't see in that performance, I don't know what you see. If you see art, well, I used to love art, but by God, that's not art. D-WAVE they've said things like quantum computation will be the first technology that allows useful tasks to be performed between parallel universes. CERN, on the other end, basically the same statements, that they will be tearing open holes in time and space and be able to look into these other parallel universes, leaving doorways open, wondering what could come through or if we could go through ourselves. And that leads to the question, what has come through? Has anything already? Is there some evil entity that's stepped through the gates already? Is that why our world has just gone complete freaking batshit crazy? Another animal shit joke. Sorry for all the shits. Shit emoji. Ha! It's getting out of hand. You know, like I said, these things happen naturally in the universe, but they figured out this backdoor way, both groups. And now, working hand in hand. Like I said, D-WAVE being that brain, being the mad scientist, coming up with the answers for them, the equations, working it through. And CERN, the big gateway, leads you to wonder, you know, where CERN's located, over the gates of hell, basically. Have all these other particle colliders been placed for a reason? Is there some significance to their locations? So many. Now they're both messing around with things like dark matter. And they'll tell you, oh, it takes thousands or millions of years to get enough dark matter to make any significant issues or anything like that. Well, what if you got these 30,000, or at least, like I say, the 30,000 we know about, all working towards that same goal? We know the military industry would love to have a bunch of dark matter. You talk about a weapon of mass destruction, a weapon of universal destruction. The owners of D-WAVE say it's a device that can be in two places at the same time, or a device in different places at different times, but the same device doing the same exact thing. They have broke down all laws of time, space, and everything that we've grown up understanding. They've rewritten every equation to their own liking. They're bending and pulling things that we're just not supposed to do. Even Stephen Hawking has said things like, CERN is one of the most dangerous machines ever to be built. He doesn't believe it should be around. He believes it should be torn down or not messed with, that a black hole could be opened up at any second, sucking us all in. These devices could end life as we know it in a blink of an eye. And I don't know all what the D-WAVE can do yet, but it sounds like it can do damn near anything it wants. And each day that passes, it gets more powerful and smarter and smarter. They say it's not AI, but I don't believe that for one bit. They're working with AI labs to develop more AI. This thing fixes itself. It gets itself smarter. It learns every day in ways that are leaving us behind and leaving us insignificant Once this thing gets to a certain level, we can't comprehend its thinking anymore. It'll think in a way that we just don't understand. And when it gets to that point, even those who think they control these things, they would have lost control, or they will lose control. And even the inventors and the little minions who work for these, they'll either be slaves or they'll be wiped out along with everybody. That's a scary thought. I know these are just kind of some what ifs, but you start to look at what these machines are capable of. These are some what ifs that could happen tomorrow. Stephen Hawking has also said things like, CERN is the closest thing we have to a time machine. Show you a little clip real quick of one of these crazed, super nutty CERN scientists, a little video he made, and what he says in it.
Antimatter is like matter, moving backwards in time. If I take a beam of antimatter and transfer all of its energy to myself, I will, myself, travel into the past. Brilliant! Can you let me into the control room of the anti-proton accelerator? I'm planning to travel into the past.
Dr. Nuts, you sound as crazy as ever. Okay, I'll let you in. Dr. Nuts! No problem at all.
The crazed look in their eye, the look of obsession, the look of insanity. These are the people we're dealing with. You've seen the things they've said, and there's so much more. I could cover this for hours. Look up their videos. Look up all you can. There's some great channels out there that have great thoughts on this, probably better than I do. I'm just saying, take a couple of minutes, take a day, and just look up CERN and look up D-WAVE. Look up the creators and the makers of this stuff and see the things that they say. They say enough. I don't need to fill in the gaps. Their insanity is plenty, and it scares me more than anything. And the fact that nobody out there in the world, the media is not covering this, but they're doing their job. The media and Big Brother and these groups like this, they act like brothers and sisters, how they fight for all of us to see, but behind the scenes, if you mess with them, one of them, they have each other's backs. They drip feed technologies to us. More than likely, most of the time, we're probably 50 years behind what they actually have, or more than that now. In the past couple of years, you can see technology is ramping. It's going faster and faster, especially since D-WAVE has come around. You can see groups like Google they were already big. Now they're flying off the deep end big. Other than the decisions at YouTube, I will have to disagree there, but that's another subject. There is no telling, and I say this a lot, I mean it, especially with groups like this, manipulating the written laws of the universe. We never know what tomorrow brings or takes away. Now we can't even consider tomorrow a day that's gone, a day that we could count on, a day that is set in stone. It used to be when you woke up the next day, yesterday was etched in stone. It is what it is. But now, when we wake up, we have to look back at yesterday and see if yesterday has changed. It's not each day is a new day. It's every passing minute, and every day is a new day. We do not know what tomorrow brings, or what's been taken away yesterday, or brought to us. Let's just keep hoping that it never gets out of hand, that with all of us coming together, putting these spotlights on them, that we keep them in check. Let's hope. I know this video's been a bit long, y'all, and I apologize, and I could have made it a lot longer. I'll do some more updates on this. This is a subject, we talk about all this Mandela stuff. We talk about all these crazy things. These two subjects bother me almost more than any of the others. The changes are one thing. They just prove our points. But it's what else can they do with these programs? And where are these programs heading next? Is D-WAVE just the beginning? Will it rewrite itself? I once said Mandela 2.0. Well, is it really next going to be CERN 2.0? Or D-WAVE 2.0? Are these just the beta test? Is that why we see the mistakes? Will a day come to where they do this so well that we don't even remember? Do we forget the past that was? I say trust your memories all the time. A little experiment, go on Google, type in trust your memories, hit images, then go down and read everything. You know what you're going to find? A bunch of things telling you not to trust your memories because they don't want you to. They don't want you to remember. They want you to just stare at the TV every day, look at the Kardashians and whatnot. Forget the past. Forget what's going on around you. Mindless zombies is what they want. Don't give them that, folks. Do your research. Keep on top of these things. Spread the word if you can. I know it's hard to do. People look at you like you're crazy. But we've all seen what's going on. There are so many naysayers, and people fear what they don't understand. People want to have this comfort, this nice, cozy little box. They don't want to get outside of that box. Sometimes you got to get a little dirty and get outside the box to get your point across. Maybe one day, if we keep with persistence, keep positive, maybe we can get everybody to notice. Guys, keep safe. Keep your loved ones close. Do the research. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the comments, guys. Thank you for the support, always. I'm sorry I haven't been getting back to everybody. I've still been recovering, getting back up on my feet again, trying to tough it out. Like I said, I know this is a long one, but I could keep going. If you guys want me to keep going, tell me. I'll leave it in the comments. I'll make another one soon. I got some more stuff, though, on the books that I want to get out, but I will revisit this topic again. Guys, again, thank you for all you do. As I always say, y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay incredible. See ya.